Every productivity app on the market does the same thing. It gives you a blank list and hopes you figure out the rest. What if the app could figure it out for you? This is DueIt, an adaptive task planning system powered by three Gemma 4 models, each one chosen for a specific reason. I built DueIt because of two problems I couldn't solve with any existing tool. One, I keep forgetting assignments existed until the night before. Two, even when I remembered, I never had enough time because I started too late. These aren't organization problems, they are planning problems. And no to do list solves a planning problem. DueIt doesn't give you a list. You create one task and the AI takes over. It estimates how long it will actually take. It breaks it into phases and micro tasks. It distributes those micro tasks across every day until your deadline. And when you inevitably miss a day, it doesn't punish you. It replans around your real behavior. That's not a to do app, that's an execution system. Now, here's what makes this different from just wrapping an API. DueIt uses three Gemma 4 models, and each one was chosen intentionally. Gemma 4 31B dense handles the heavy thinking. When you create a task, 31B reads the title, the category, the deadline, and reasons through the complexity. How many phases does this need? How many hours will it actually take? What should happen on day 1 versus day 5? That's a reasoning task. Only 31B handles it reliably. Gemma 4 2B handles the fast daily operation. Every morning when you open the app, 2B checks what you completed yesterday, what you missed, and adjusts today's schedule. This needs to happen in under 2 seconds. You don't wait for your morning plan. Gemma 426B MOE handles multi-domain synthesis. When DueIt generates an Excalidraw workflow diagram, it needs to understand the task structure across different phases and convert that into a visual mermaid flow diagram. MOE routes different part of the problem to different expert internally. That's exactly what mixture of expert was architectured for. The calendar isn't a view, it's the core of the system. When you create a task with a deadline, Gemma 31B distributes microtasks across every day from today until due, not equally, intelligently. Heavier work early, lighter review days near the end. Miss Monday, DueIt doesn't just leave a gap. Gemma 2B kicks in the next morning and redistributes everything across your remaining days. Your path to the deadline always stays clear. The dashboard is your early warning system, a pressure meter that rises as your deadline approaches and unfinished tasks pile up, a risk meter that calculates your actual probability of missing the deadline, an AI productivity heat map, a full month view showing exactly how productive you were each day. Dark means high output, light means minimal work. This isn't motivational fluff. It's an honest mirror of your execution reality. On top of the planning engine, Qt generates a fuel Notion workspace, a progress tracker database with each phase mapped out, curated web resources grabbed by TinyFish, not generic links, real resources specific to your task, an Excalidraw workflow diagram generated by Gemma 26B MOE with a live collaboration room. Everything syncs back to your app in real time. DueIt runs on Firebase Auth and Firestore for real-time sync. The backend sits on Google Cloud Run and connects to your Notion workspace with one tap. But what makes this different isn't the stack. It's what happens when three Gemma 4 models starts working together. 31B dense for deep reasoning, 2B for speed, 26B MOE for multi-domain synthesis. Let me show you what that looks like. I'm going to create a task, build a RAG chatbot, set the category, add a deadline, and create it. But here's where DueIt is different. This isn't a static task. This evolves every day, so when I come back tomorrow, I don't just see a list. I see exactly what I should be doing next. Right now, Gemma 431B dense is breaking this into structured phases and microtasks. It's reasoning through the complexities, estimating time, sequencing dependencies. So instead of a vague goal, I now have a clear execution roadmap. The dashboard doesn't just show tasks, it shows pressure, risk, and focus. A pressure meter tracks workload intensity, and a risk meter predicts delays. An AI heat map tells me exactly where my attention is needed next. Now, I open my Notion workspace and this page is generated instantly. Gemma 31B Dense generated the structured plan, and that plan directly translates into this visual workflow. So the system moves from text to structure to visualization. What matters here isn't just content, it's structure. I have a clear task overview, defined outputs, and a progress tracker that maps each phase of execution. And the important part is these aren't separate. Gemma 26B MOE took those phases and generated a mermaid flowchart, which TinyFish rendered into this Excalidraw workflow diagram without me manually designing anything. Now, this is where the system moves from planning to execution. I open Cursor, my AI coding agent, and it's connected directly to my Notion workspace, which means it's not just reading plain text, it's interacting with structured data, phases, microtasks, dependencies, and real time progress states. So instead of giving isolated prompts, I'm giving it full context to understand what needs to be built, in what order, and what's already completed. That allows it to behave less like a chatbot and more like an execution agent. When I give it a command, it first parses the Notion page, extracts the structured phases and tasks, maps them into an execution plan, and then starts working on the current phase. So the system isn't just executing, it's tracking its own progress. Planning and execution states perfectly synchronized, and this is the result of phase 1. The agent has generated actual project structure with files and codes corresponding to the first phase. One action triggers an entire execution pipeline, from planning to structuring to visualizing to actually building. DueIt doesn't just organize your work, it understands it, it adapts it, and it starts doing it. Powered by three Gemma 4 models. This is DueIt for you.